Hello, my name is Barbara Sutton, and I graduated from the University of Oregon in 2004 with a PhD in sociology, and I am currently a professor and chair of the Department of Women's Gender and Sexuality Studies at the University at Albany in New York. I am very grateful to CSWS for the positive impact that the center has had on my research, on my life, on my career, my work. I initially became acquainted with the center as a doctoral student. Sandra Morgan, who was the director at the time, was my mentor, and she was very influential in my life. And she introduced me to many of the activities of the center, and I wanted to become involved. And so I helped found with other fellow graduate students, the Social Sciences Feminist Network Research Interest Group, or RIG. And also later on, I helped found with other scholars what eventually would become the Americas RIG. And I was very fortunate to receive the Jane Grant Dissertation Award, which funded my research on body politics in Argentina, which eventually became part of my book. And actually my first book, Security Disarmed, was an outgrowth of a conference that I helped organize with CSWS on gender, race, and militarization. So CSWS was always a place that felt exciting, vibrant. It was also a place that felt like home, that I wanted to go to, that was welcoming, that it had that sense of care and solidarity, and that nurtured a kind of academic inquiry based on cooperation. And I learned so many skills there. I gained organizing skills, leadership skills that I still carry with me today. And in thinking about the future, I'm thinking about a feminist future in light also of what's happening in the present. And unfortunately, we are seeing a rise of authoritarianisms in many places of the world, including my country of origin, and we see it here in the US. We see it in the rolling back of abortion rights, in the attacks on education, on expansive notions of gender and sexuality. We see it on attacks of education that makes us aware of the existence of racism, the history of racism, its persistence. And we see it in attacks on feminist spaces and organizations. And so to me, a feminist future, for one, is a future that has feminism in it. And this means that the concepts, the initiatives, the spaces that feminists have created are part of our present and of our future. Even when we recognize that feminism is not conflict-free, that it is not static, that it continues to reinvent itself. It's still part of our world making. It's still part of the way we create institutions, or that we create spaces that are worthwhile. And to me, it's also a future that is founded on a democratic and fair basis, where we also recognize the ways in which we are interdependent, in which we need structures of care and solidarity. And it is a future that nurtures a deep notion of freedom, that is not a freedom of the market to not care about the livelihoods of people. It's not the freedom to carry guns that endanger communities. It's not the freedom that is based on canceling the concept that have empowered diverse and marginalized communities. So to me, it's not a world that is ruled by neoliberalism or authoritarianism, but it is a world where we can question these injustices, and it is a feminist future to the extent that it is about freedom from systems of oppression.